Welcome back to the show. Clearly, the economic impact is causing major stress for many Americans across the country. We're in the studio with Dr. Kokyi Patterson, a naturopathic physician with the African Holistic Health Association, and Dr. Theodore Watkins. Now, he's a physician at the Watkins Institute in Northeast Washington. Welcome to you both. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
In what ways have you noticed your patients, just stressed out regarding the downturn of the economy? And either one of you can address that. I'm sure you've seen.
Well, I can talk about it some. Their blood pressures are higher. Their diabetes are more out of control. They're having more chest pains. They're having more back problems. The normal problems that they have are aggravated by stress. I believe stress is the #1 cause of death in this country, and economics is clearly a major factor in causing increases in stress.
Dr. Patterson?
Yeah, just to add to that, we look at the onset of new manifestations as it relates to this stress, because stress is something that constricts the processes in the body. So if we have constriction in the digestive tract, we're going to see some digestive problems show up. If we have constriction in breathing due to grief, and we're going to have some problems with some respiratory issues also. So there's some things that are created as a result of this condition that we're looking at now.
What kind of precautions should people be considering, in light of this? Precautions.
Well, I think we have to, take a step back and remember where we've come from. It's difficult. I mean, it's bad to forget who we are. We need to recognize that we have control, and we need to fall back on something that we've all talked about for many years, and that's our faith. And then as we use those things, we recognize that we have some tools that we can use to get through this times. We can start doing more gardening. We can start using more natural processes that really are better for us at any rate.
Patterson, you and I were chatting a little earlier. Now, clearly, people, just quite frankly, they have no money to pay their copay.
Yeah.
What can people do?
Yeah, one of the things that I share with my clients is some preventative kinds of tools and techniques, showing them some acupressure points that would help to alleviate digestive problems, respiratory issues, and help to stabilize their psychic and their spirit and their emotional self. Along with what Dr. Watkins was just talking about, we look at the emotional situation that exists in our community, and we have all these psychological issues that come up, etc. So one of the things that we need to do, as he stated, is to pray, to meditate, to be more involved in fellowshipping and sharing and communal family kinds of activities, so we're able to absorb and help each other deal with getting through this strain.
And I might add one other thing too. We need to come together as a community. I remember shortly after being on a White House panel that Robert Rodell, the publisher of Prevention magazine, was on. He wrote an editorial where he looked at the Japanese and how they had moved from having a life expectancy of 50 years to a life expectancy of 80 years in about a 40-year period of time. And I was very interested as I read that article, since we had been on this panel together, to see what was the issue. And he said the key issue was their sense of community. And initially I was very disheartened, because I wanted, an herb, some special water. But we need to recognize that as a community, we can come together and we can move through almost any difficulties if we come together and work together.
And that is definitely the key.
Yeah.
Now, gentlemen, either one of you can answer this question. If there was something that you would say, what do you think needs to be improved in the economy? What advice, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. If the economy could improve today, what are your thoughts on that?
It would be for profit. So let's put the people first, let's put the community first, let's be humanistic, and let's have some comprehensive approaches. Let's be objective so that we're able to blend all of the health modalities together so that we can have a better effect in our community.
And I think he's absolutely correct. It has always bothered me that people feel that in order to make money, to be successful, they have to treat people bad. They have to walk over people. But I don't believe that's true. I believe that we can use that community spirit and really succeed, perhaps even greater, if we treat people better, if we put people before profit. I think that was excellent,
Yes.
Dr. Patterson.
You know, one of the things that my mom did when I was young was use onions to make onion cough syrup. So people can make cough syrup, get some honey, dice up some onions and boil that to kill the feet. The onions, put them on the underarms and the socks and the feet, fever gets pulled out. So I remember those things as a child. At age 57 now, I remember my mom doing that back when I was in elementary school and remembering that it worked.
So it sounds like we need to go back, as you say, to our roots, and that's the advice that you have for the community today. Is that what I'm hearing?
Sure.
You know, people come to me from all over the country, and they're often surprised that the techniques that I give them are very simple things. One of the first things I do with most of my patients, I put them on a fast, because I find that simple fasting, getting those poisons, those impurities out of the system, makes a big difference in how the body is able to handle stress and to heal itself. And
That's
so,
good advice. Simple, just fasting.
Fasting.
None of this medication and
That's
all
right,
that.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Cleaning that body out is very important. I do Acupuncture Detox, which is a specific call that works on the cleansing organs in the body. And when you're cleansing, of course, when the toxins leave, then the body can rebuild itself and the tonification process takes place.
Jim, I thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for the good advice.
Thank you.